and now put what is that? Whatever sales, right? Sales into there and sort it. Highest to lowest here. And what are the top 10 values? 2550198 those things are. And now can you compare this with that screenshot? Two 704. Can you go there? Yeah. Okay. It is working. Okay. So because we have sorted there also by this by product name sales, right? So yeah, it is sorting. Good job, Sumit. Yeah. I mean, when you do something right, always go to a new sheet and try to validate whether if it is working fine, because we have used a top 10 there, right? So sometimes it might happen that the top 10 may be calculated before or after that order of operation, right? Again, but yeah, we have verified it is working. So good. Can you select any other state? Let's say California. Or any random state you select. Okay, Alabama. Okay. Yeah, now go to that map. Where is Alabama? Let's do one thing. Let's select a state where we don't have 10 records. Okay, Wyoming or something. It was coming, right? Select Wyoming. Okay, it's only one. Okay, it's working fine. This is how you will validate. Okay, normally, because normally you said in the top 10, right, in the filter, but some states when you hover over, only one value is coming. So in those cases are the ones where sometimes the logic might not have worked properly. So this is how you should validate, going to a different sheet and trying out all the possible combinations that you applied there. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Good job, Soumya.
Thank you.
Okay. Hope everybody got an idea like what it is done, how it is done, right? Thanks. All right. Let me share my screen. Have I given anything else? No, right? That's it, right? Oh, there may be homework from the prior classes. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Let me go to sample superstore. Let me check. Okay. Now there is something called special. Okay, special is basically if you are working with geographical location, right? In that case, these are really helpful. Buffer, distance, make line, make point, all those things. Okay, so let's see. I will show you buffer, distance, and make point. These three calculations. Okay. So, but to do that, let's do that with an example. Let's say you are a retail store, okay, retail company, and you want to open a retail store in an area, okay. And before opening, you will not just open in any random area, right? You will see like what competitors you have, right, in that area. Who are the competitors and how many competitors you have? Would like to find that out so that you would know like whether you will make profit or not. So to do that, there is an example. There is a data set I have. Let me open that. That's just an example, but let me. Okay, so I have, you see there are two data sets. One is London hotels and London pubs. Let me open them first. Let me open the London hotels. And now London pubs. Okay, I have two spreadsheets. The first one is London hotels. Okay, where I have the hotel names, their Yelp rating, number of Yelp ratings, price rating, what is the neighborhood, and their latitude and longitude. Okay, so these are the hotels. Now in the second sheet, I have the pubs. Okay, these are the different pub names and their latitude and longitude and their neighborhood and all those things. So what the requirement here is, we want to find out how many pubs are there within the 500-meter radius of any particular hotel. Okay, within the 500-meter radius of any particular hotel. So let's say this hotel is the Hoxton Shoreditch. Okay, we want to find out which are those pubs that are within the 500-meter radius of that particular hotel. Similarly for other hotels as well. The requirement is clear what we are going to do.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now let me get these two things into Tableau. Let me close this sample superstore. Let me go to this is a text file because it's a CSV one. I'll go to text. I'll open the hotels. Okay, it has already got it already. Hotels and pubs both. Okay, it has read from that folder. Okay, so now I have London hotels here. Okay. Now, if I have to find out the pubs information, right, I need to combine these two files, right? I have to combine this hotels file with the pubs file. Basically, I have to join them, right? I have to join them. So what do you think, which field should I use to join these two data sets? One is hotel, one is pub. Let me keep them side by side. Just make a wild guess, that's fine.
Neighborhood का?
Okay, anything else?
Latitude, longitude?
Yeah, latitude, longitude. That should be the one because this is a geographical location and I'm not joining like apple to apple. Okay, I'm just trying to find out within the 500-meter radius of a particular, so wherever you are sitting right now, that also has a latitude and longitude, right? So within that latitude and longitude, right, how many such hotels are there within the 500-meter radius of that, right? So I will use this latitude and longitude, but I cannot directly join. So let's see what we can do. Okay, but the latitude and longitude is the correct answer. So what I will do here is, so this is my London hotels. Okay, Now I will join the London pubs. Okay. So what I did, so join will come to this. So this is the, just know that in Tableau when you join the first, when it is already there, this is the logical layer. This is the logical layer. In logical layer is where we will establish our relationships. But if I double click, I will go to the physical layer where I can join. Join and relationships are totally different. Okay, we'll come to that tomorrow or in the next class. Okay, now let me bring in London pubs. Okay, now you see it is trying to join, right? Maybe so when you try to join in Tableau, right, it will always look for a common field, right? And here it is when you hover over, you see it is finding that Yelp number of rating is the common field and it is trying to do a join. But we know that this is not correct. We have to change it. Okay. So what I'll do here is I'll just remove this. Okay. Now that is completely removed. Now you see that latitude and longitude are coming. Okay. As we said, let's go ahead and first see my latitude and longitude. And I'll again join with longitude and see what is happening. You see only 2 records are coming. Okay. So this is at the bottom, it will always show you the result. Okay. Only 2 records are coming. Looks like something is not right because the reason is this will not work. It is a latitude longitude information. So for any join to work, right, it has to be exact. The value should be exact, then only you will get that result. But here our requirement is something different. We want to find out within the 500-meter radius. So we need to give that um, um, radius information to Tableau so that it can calculate properly and it will check what our latitude and longitude are present within 500-meter radius of each hotel. Okay, so that is something we need to do. Directly we cannot join because latitude, these are not same, because we have a hotel's latitude here and there is a pub's latitude longitude, so they will not be same. Very few cases they might match, but not always. So what I will do here is I will just remove this. So I will create a join calculation. You see there is a join calculation and I'm doing on this hotel side. On the right hand side, on the left hand side, if you do, it's for hotel and this is the London pubs. You see this is already giving London pubs and this is the hotel. Now I'll go to create a join calculation. So basically if I go to the Excel sheet, this latitude and longitude, this is a point, right? On your map, if you just put a dot, that's a point, right? And that point has this latitude and longitude information. So since this is a point, let me make a point here. Okay, let me make a point. Okay, so what I will do here is make point. There's a calculation field. There's a function called make point. So what it needs, returns a spatial object constructed from latitude and longitude. Okay, so it basically expects latitude and longitude. Let me select lat, comma, long. Okay, latitude and longitude. Let's say I'll keep it like this. Okay, latitude and longitude. Let's say that's okay. And now let's say I'll go here and see, and I'll create a join calculation here also. And here also I'll do a make point. And for if you look at the data, for hotel we have capital lat and long. For pubs we have small lat and long. Just to differentiate with what is coming from what. Okay, I'll use lat, comma, long. Okay, now let's say okay. Now still nothing is happening. You see data preview unavailable because it is not able to do it. Because right now here what we are doing here is it's a latitude and longitude and we cannot, the data is such that I cannot do it directly equal to join. So I'll go this and there is something called intersect. Still I'm not getting data. That means something is not right. I'll go to this first one. So only change I need to do here is I need to put a buffer because I want to find out within 500-meter radius. So I will just put this in a buffer. Buffer gives you a radius kind of thing. Buffer, and this is my geometry and comma. What is my number? I will say 500 is the meter, and I need to mention the units. This is basically, let's say if I go to buffer, it you will need to write like this. Okay, what is your number, and then in units. So here I want to find in meters, so I'll put a mm. Okay, now say okay. I hope it should work now. You see, now the data started coming. I did an intersect, right? So this is a buffer maker. So what I did is basically, let's say if I open a PPT, open a blank one. Let's say this is a hotel. This is a hotel. These are different hotels, okay? And let's say I'll give pubs. Something like this. Okay, and these are my hotels, right? So what I'll do here is so what I did, let's say that this is the hotel. So I created a buffer around it. Okay. So this calculation, this circle is the buffer basically. Okay. So basically, if you look at my calculation, what I have done here is first I created a point, make point. So basically, whatever the hotel is, I made a point, and on that point, I made a buffer of 500 meter. So on that point, I made a buffer of 500 meter. Then I did an intersection with the London's point. So the pub's point, London pub's point. Okay, so this is so wherever it intersects, so it's not a direct join. You see, wherever that other pub is coming, intersects the latitude, longitude of hotels, latitude, longitude. I'm doing that join on that basis. Is it clear what we're trying to do? So far, so good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. All right, now my data is set up. It's a join. This is the icon. You can see it's a join. Now I'll go to the worksheet. Now in the worksheet, now I need to set it up. Now this is London hotel, this is London pub, and I need to build similar sort of visualization what I'm just showing here. So to do that also, I again need to recreate those things that I just did. Okay. So one is, let's say, make point hotel. Only the setting up that setting the data is important and little bit tricky. Rest all things will be fine. Make point. Now my lat, comma, long. Let me make it a buffer here also. Now similarly, I'll do for the pubs. Make point. and this is my small lat and long. Okay, now what I will do here is, now you see these are all geographical things coming up, right? Now what I'll do here is, this is my buffer, and let me bring it in. You see, the moment you bring it in, it is not the usual aggregation. Normally you would get a sum, average, or AGG. So now what you get is the collect, which is a collection of geographical objects. That's what it is giving. Okay, now you see, the moment I put it, based on the make point, it is trying to put the buffers. Okay, now still it is not coming up because it may not be able to identify anything. You see, everything is getting highlighted. So what I will do here is, I'll put the hotel name to detail. Let's see. Now you see, each hotel is now separated. Okay, now there is a map behind the scenes because it's of London. So I'll go to map options, not sorry, map layers. Go to map layers, and here I'll go to the street one. It should load. Okay, yeah, this is my map. Probably I'll change the color a little bit. Let's say. Okay, now these are my individual hotels. Now I need to find out the pubs, right? Basically the pubs I need to find out. So what I'll do here, let me do a dual axis, and on the second one I will just remove these points and I will use the pubs. You see this, each mark is coming. Now here I will put the pub names into detail. Okay, now all different pub names I can see. You can see. Now let me change a different color so that they are visible. You cannot do anything because this is how you can do, but let's leave it like that. We'll see. Let me do a dual axis now. All right. Here probably instead of map, the second one, right? I can make it a circle. Then only I will make them bigger or smaller. It was a map. Map I cannot make big, small, something like that. That's why it was not working initially. And let me reduce the opacity so that we can see the overlappings a little bit. Okay, let me reduce opacity a little more. I'm using the size, sorry. Let me go to color, and here we should reduce the opacity. Okay, now, and probably if you want to put a border so that you can see the overlappings happening. Okay, now we have created the basic map. Okay, and in this, what we are showing is what is my hotel and what are the pubs within the 500-meter radius of that. Okay, within the 500-meter radius of that. Okay, see, if I have to increase the radius, I can go to that hotel and I can increase the radius. Let's say I'll say 1,000. You see, now it is increasing the radius. But here we don't need that. We just need to do it on the 500. You can parameterize also this part and make it dynamic. But the problem, but if you want to control it from the join, you cannot pass a parameter to your join here, right? We have did a join. If I double click, if I go to this, sorry, I need to click on this. If this here, if I want to parameterize, it is not possible. You can't pass a parameter to the join part. Okay, it is not possible. I don't know, in new versions it's possible. Now let's say there is something called top customer. Let me try to that pass the parameter. Is it possible or not? Because in the older versions it's not possible. Let's say top, no, there's no parameter coming up. No, not happening. I thought of making the intersection also more dynamic. Okay, but that is not possible. But okay, that's okay. You understood what I was trying to do. Now I have the 500-meter radius of the hotel. Then there are pubs. Okay, what are the different pubs? Now what I need to do here is, I want to display how many pubs are within the 500-meter radius of that hotel. How many pubs? Okay, now what I will do here is I will go to the first one. Okay, and there is a pub here, right? What I will do here is let me put it here, not price, pub name, and I'll do a count distinct and put it on label. Okay, now I'll go to the label and make it a little big. Okay, now I'm showing how many pubs. You see, here it is one, here it is one, here there are two, here there are two. Now here there are 5 pubs. Okay, now this is what is coming. Okay, so far so good. You're following me.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now next thing, let's say what we want to do here is, if I hover over, right, it will give me the details of the pubs and also the distance from the hotel to that pub. Okay, I want that. So what I will do here is I cannot directly do that here, so I need to do a new sheet here, the way you did, right, Soumya Ranjan, the vision tooltip. The same thing we will do. Let's say put the hotel name, pub name is coming like this. Now I want to find out the distance between these two. Calculate. By doing this, you can calculate any distance on your map. Distance, start and end. So make point, which is my hotel point. Hotel make point. Okay, I need to make it again because that make point hotel has a buffer, so it will not work. So I'll do that here. I could have created a calculation separately, or I can do that here also. Now, comma. End is basically my pub point, pub, make point pub. And also it needs in units. So I will put it here. Let's say how it looks like distance, right? It just needs the units here. So here we are calculating everything in meters. So I'll put it in meter and say okay. Now I'll just drag and drop here. You see what is the different, what is the distance from each point. Now I'll remove that hotel name. Okay, now it is coming like this. Maybe sort it. Okay, now okay, the harp. Okay, now I'll go here. Let me go to a dashboard. Okay, let me go to a dashboard. Sheet 1. How many pubs are within 500-meter radius of the hotel? Oops, I put it here. Normally, at office I use this Lucida Sans. Any Sans family are normally good for business dashboards. You can use that. Okay, and here When we hover over, I want that information. Go to tooltip, and the sheet is basically the sheet 2, and say okay, let's see what it is coming up. So you see now it is not doing that thing. Something is not it is not able to identify, because this is my hotel, right? And here if you see, I don't have anything called hotel, so it is not able to filter on that. So in that case, what I'll do is put hotel name to detail. So what I will do here is, if I put to tooltip, now let's say I go here, hotel name, right? I put the hotel name and I'm hovering on hotel name, so it should come. If you put it here, and let's see what happens. ITTR hotel name by, I'll put a dimension. Okay, okay, I know the issue. Okay, let me tell you why. Hotel name, and here let me remove this for the time being. I'll show you. And here what is happening here is, you see, filter is equal to all fields. Okay, filter is equal to all fields. I don't need that. So what I would do here is, filter is equal to, I'll go here and I will say hotel name. Okay, say okay. Now if I go here, you see right what I did. So you can control that tooltip also, that field. So I just, because it was not filtering, because it was earlier, it was this part, filter is equal to all. So it was not happening because I'm hovering over on hotel. So I want it to filter on hotel so that I will see the relevant pubs. Otherwise it will show me everything. So that is not possible. So you see, now it is working fine. Okay, maybe you can beautify these sheets. So what you can do little bit here is, let me just it's too much. I'll increase this little bit. These bandings, right? You can control these bandings, you can make it look good. So to do that, go to this. Okay, there is something called row banding. If you want to put a different slide, different color, so that will match with your other thing, you can do this. Now you see it is only doing for this part but not this part, because you need to increase the band, not band size. If you do this, so header, this is the pane, this is the header. So I'll make it header also the same color, so it will match. Something like that. I mean, it's up to you completely. Format, and I'll put a better font. I'll put Lucida Sans here. Okay, now it looks better. Make it, I'll make it 8. That's what I do normally. Format. Here also I'll change it to Lucida Sans and I'll make it 8. Okay, so they will look nice and clean. Okay, now if I go here, now if I hover over, this is much cleaner. You see this much. If you do not need that band line, let's remove that also, because sometimes people might think why there is a band line coming, what does it mean, are you trying to highlight something? It is okay for a tabular report where you have band lines, and if you have like long tables, right, there is a reason why these band lines are given, because it will help you to read the same line item. Your eye can track it all through, like from left to right. So that is the whole reason. If that is not needed, it is a small data, it is okay to remove that. So I will just say like this, I don't, band size nothing, because this is basically the different labels it goes. Okay, so I'll say band size nothing, and there is something called these uh, dividers, row divider, column divider, right? So rows, right? Let's say row divider. If I say this row divider like full, and I can then control this, whether you want to put a dashed line, what color you want to give it, so that it look nice, right? So all those things you can do. Now This is how it looks, much cleaner. Probably that pub name, right? I may need to little bit bold it format. So maybe which one is that? This is labels. This is labels, field labels, font. Okay, let me do it. Okay, this is the one. Okay, so all right. Now let me go here. Now let me do some dynamic, and let me put some dynamic text here. Basically, I'll say, one second guys, I'm getting a call. Okay, so what I want to say here is a dynamic text. So I would say there are let's say count this in, there are within 500-meter radius of, and the hotel name I'll put here, the hotel name. Let's say can you see this now?
Yes, sir.
This is how you can make things even more interactive, even more informative. Because let me remove this hotel name. Total pubs. Number of pubs. You can put a line like this, make it middle align. So what will happen? It will look something like this. I mean, I'm just giving you some ideas. What you can do, what you can't do. This I'll make it little less darker so that it will not hit to the user's eyes. See, there are 5 pubs within 500 meters of that hotel, this hotel, right? Something like that. Now this is, if you think this is, the width is too big, right? You can reduce that width also. How? So there is something called max width and height is coming if you don't want, and if you need like the size to be big, you can control from here, increase, decrease, whatever you want to do. Something is getting truncated. Okay, the reason is I have changed that, right? That's why that thing is not coming up, the values. Now that value came up. Okay, hope it would have given you some good idea how to build things. Any questions, guys? What we did? Hope it is clear, right, guys? What we did today.
Yes.
All right, guys. So let's do one thing. I don't want to start any new topic because there is one big topic remaining that will take another 1.5 hours. And I know that you have a class at 9:30, right? That ML class is there. So I'll probably on Tuesday morning we'll have the class. Okay. and we'll try to cover those things: unions, blendings, joins, relationships. All those things we will cover on Tuesday, and then see how it goes. Okay. Any questions, guys?
No, sir.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, sir.